What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WWE Network and Chill, where I, Graham G.S. and Matthews, break down all the original content they watch on the WWE Network and on Peacock. And today we're talking the latest episode of Table for Three, featuring R-Truth and Dana Brooke and Carmella on an episode called Talking Truth. Now, I think this dropped last week, which gives me hope that they will be dropping more Table for Three episodes. I think since they filmed a lot of content over Mania weekend, if I'm not mistaken. We had the one with Angle Academy, Kurt Angle, Chad Gable, Otis go up a few weeks ago. That was an enjoyable one. This was fun. Obviously learned almost nothing new from this episode. It was a lot of goofs and a lot of laughs and shit like that. It's basically what you would expect from an episode involving R-Truth. They talk a lot about the 24/7 championship. They play games, they rap, they share stories. Carmella talks about her wine. That's this episode in a nutshell. Far from a must-see episode, but for a 24-minute episode, it was fun. And I can't complain. I'm glad that we're finally getting more new content from WWE on Peacock. I'm still in the process of watching and reviewing all the WWE Evil episodes. The next one should be up hopefully this week. And Broken Skull Sessions. I've talked about that before. I'm still way behind on that. I got to watch the Bubba Ray Dudley one. I got to watch the Cody Rhodes one. I'm so behind on those. But at least we're getting the new Table for Threes. Those are enjoyable. These are very enjoyable. And, it kind of brings me back to what WWE was doing with the WWE Network here in the States before they closed shop on that in early 2021. So let's get right into it. The whole theme here is that all three members of this episode are former 24/7 champions. At the time of this taping, and I think currently too, I don't remember because I don't really pay attention to this shit every week on Raw now, but Dana Brooke is the current 24/7 champion at the time of the taping, and I think now at the time of this recording as well, again, if I'm not mistaken. R-Truth, obviously a former fucking 50-time champion. Carmella's been a champion a few times over as well. R-Truth, they replay his various title wins over the years, dating back from 2019. I think it was actually 3 years ago from this Thursday, the 19th, that the title debuted on Raw, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe not the 19th, maybe it was the 20th. It was, that Monday, I think it would have been the 20th, so I think it was 3 years from that Monday that the 24/7 Championship debuted on Raw. To start off the show, they talk about water for some reason, sparkling, this water, that water, whatever. Carmella recalls actually pinning R-Truth to win the championship, as well as pinning Marshmallow on an episode of Raw at one point, either to retain the title or to... I think to regain the title. I don't remember exactly. That was back in 2019. They were still a little bit more creative with the championship than they are now. But yeah, even Dana Brooke talks about how she wanted to win a championship by the age of 33. She tweeted this on maybe a few days before her birthday, and sure enough, on Raw soon after that, she won the 24/7. She won the 24/7 championship for the first time. They recall the holiday skits they were doing in the winter of 2021. Carmella talks about how her and Truth teamed for 2 years, which I don't think that's accurate. They actually teamed for a little less than a year. They first joined forces, I think, in late 2019, actually, or 2018. Around the time of the Mixed Match Challenge, they teamed up, formed an alliance. They were kind of teaming on and off on TV throughout most of 2019, and they broke up when Carmella turned on him to win the championship in late 2019. I think R-Truth may have gone to Raw or stayed on Raw at that point. Carmella, I think, was drafted to SmackDown at that point, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm pretty sure that's what the deal was. But yeah, R-Truth says that when they ask him, how have you lasted this long? What is the key to you looking great at the age of 50, 51, or whatever it is, and lasting this long in WWE? What's your secret? He says being truthful, along with eating lots of fruit, and also being able to adapt, transition, and reinvent herself, which that is something that Truth has done a lot of over the course of his career. And even Carmella as well. Dana Brooke, not so much, but she was doing the Titus Worldwide thing for a while. She was with Charlotte, and she was with Emma, so she kind of has to an extent, but Carmella even more so. I mean, she was with Enzo and Cass when she first started in NXT. She came up to the main roster. She immediately went heel. Kind of felt like a questionable decision, but, she made it work. She was great there. She made it work with James Ellsworth as their manager. She did the Miss Money in the Bank thing. She was the champion for a while. She went back to being a babyface, teamed with R-Truth. She did the 24/7 championship thing for a little while. From there, she went back to being a heel, did the whole glamour thing about a year ago in late 2020 in the feud with Sasha. Now she's back to being, she's still a heel now, but doing something a little bit different. So Carmella's been great as far as the reinventing yourself thing goes. She doesn't get enough credit, I don't think, for that. Anyway, so Carmella praises Truth, his ability to always finding a way to make things work. when they would plan things out for Raw and give them ideas ahead of time, Truth would take anything they throw at him and made it work, and he was always positive, they said. He doesn't ask how or why. He just kind of does whatever they tell him to do, and that's why he's been there for as long as he has been. And he's funny, so it works. Carmella talks, like I just kind of got done talking about, but she talks her transition into teaming with Truth, going from being this hated heel champion one week to literally being with Truth like a month later. And then being in the Mixed Match Challenge and winning the whole thing for the second season. And they haven't brought the show back since, thankfully, because it wasn't a great show, especially that second season. But they did win Mixed Match Challenge together in late 2018. Dana Brooke asks R-Truth, what's the deal with Pretty Ricky? Who's Pretty Ricky? Truth will never admit to being Pretty Ricky, but he says that Pretty Ricky is Little Jimmy's uncle on his dad's brother's side. And Little Jimmy knows everyone. He knows Dana Brooke's dad. He knows Carmella's dad, who used to be a former WWE superstar, a jobber back in the day. Carmella says her favorite memory of being with Truth was a 2019 Access signing over WrestleMania weekend in New York, when regardless of who met him that day, whether it was a kid, adult, teenager, employees, security guard, whoever, he said, that's odd. And he said it time and time again, and it killed Carmella. She thought it was the funniest thing. They also talk about his old game show, which I completely forgot about, which was, on the WWE Network during the pandemic. And it was a great way to kind of create new content, put out new stuff. And when you couldn't have the Table for Threes and all the documentaries and shit, they made do with what they had, and they did the R-Truth game show, which was very entertaining. They haven't done it since, unfortunately. They then, from that, play Two Truths and a Lie, from which we discover that Brooke was once a state diving state champion, whatever the fuck. She actually used to hate diving, got into it, was really good at it, became a champion, which is cool. Carmella also reveals, and I think this has been public knowledge, but she actually danced for Rihanna one time. And the lie of the three things that she said was the fact that she grew up in Staten Island until she was 11 years old, which I knew immediately was a lie because I knew she's not from Staten Island. She was, I think, a Massachusetts, Boston girl, if I'm not mistaken, which you would never know that, but that's, I think, where she grew up. But yeah, she used to dance for Rihanna, I think one time when she was with, not the Lakers, one of those teams that she was cheerleading for, and Rihanna was in there with Drake, I think, and she was a backup dancer for her at one of the games, which is cool. R-Truth says that he also likes to swim before Dana Brooke calls him out on it and says that R-Truth would always tell people, oh yeah, I'll go swim in the pool, oh yeah, I'll go swim in the lake or the sea or whatever. And then he would always say, well, not today, I'm not feeling well, whatever. So she kind of calls him out on that. Carmella then brings out her own line of wine, which I guess she came out with, which I completely either forgot about or didn't know about. She probably promoted it on the Corey and Carmella show, which I did watch. I didn't review it here, but I did watch it, and I actually enjoyed it, to be honest. So there's a chance they bring that back. But yeah, she has her own line of wine. She says it's affordable, but it tastes good. Dana and Truth tried here, and they give it a positive review. So that was pretty much the episode. They do a little rap, a makeshift rap, and Dana and Carmella actually do pretty well at it. And it reminded me of the R-Truth game show from 2020 when R-Truth would rap at the end of every episode about each episode, which was cool. So, yeah, a fun little episode. Nothing must-see here at all. If you like the 24/7 title stuff, you like the chemistry that Truth has with Carmella and Dana Brooke, you'll probably love the episode. It's a quick 24 minutes. Again, it's definitely a different tone than the other episodes of Table for Three, but I think that's kind of what makes it stand out. It's definitely a throwaway episode, but I enjoyed it for what it was. Thank you guys for checking out my review. I appreciate it. Be sure to like the video, drop a comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. A lot more content coming soon from GSM for GM, WWE 2K22 gameplay videos from my GM of the game. From that to hashtag AskGSM, reviews on Peacock and WWE Network, including WWE Evil, Broken Skull Sessions reviews, other reviews, interviews, and so much more. So if you haven't already, hit the bell button to be notified anytime a new video goes up here on the channel. Please do so. I would greatly appreciate it when you get a chance. That being said, guys, have a great rest every week/weekend. I'm Graham GSM Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.